Welcome to OutTakes. I'm Lori Baker. As part of the OutTakes 2017 Daytime Emmy Awards interview series, here is John Aniston, nominated as Outstanding Supporting Actor for a Drama Series for his role of Victor Kiriakis on Days of Our Lives. Here he is to tell us all about it. So congratulations on your Daytime Emmy nomination, your first one. It was Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. You know, all the fans are wondering, all these years of terrific work took so long.
A slow learner.
Yeah. How did you find out that you were nominated?
How did I find out? Somebody from the publicity office called me.
Uh-huh. Were you surprised?
A little bit.
How much work was that? I mean, did you put together a reel to submit and all of that?
PR department did that for me.
Oh, okay. So do you know what scenes they used?
Oh, yes, I've seen it. I think it's better to have somebody else pick your scenes anyway. You don't. It's like headshots with people. Everybody's got a pet peeve. I don't like my nose. I don't like my chin. I don't like this. And the first thing they look at is their pet peeve. And if it's not right, they discount the whole thing. And great pictures are lost that way.
Yeah. You have that outside eye. So was it like scenes with Maggie or?
It was a scene with Maggie and a scene with Damos.
Ah, yeah. Well, it seems like this year, and especially, for Victor, there was a lot of good material because of Damos coming into the family and stirring up everything, and all the Kiriakis family, Brady and Sonny and Damos and Philip, all the Kiriakis getting together, stirring it up, and all in competition with each other. Was it fun? Was the storyline going in that direction for you this year?
Yeah, it was sort of. Award stuff. I used to have a photographer friend of mine who used to say, "Give me Susie Parker. I'll show you great pictures too." I don't know if you're old enough to remember Susie Parker.
I'm not that old, but I've heard of her. So
the first supermodel.
Oh, okay. Do you plan on attending the awards?
Yes.
Yes, well, that's exciting. Yeah, your daughter Jennifer Aniston, of course, won an Emmy for Friends. Is she going to come and support you?
Oh, I doubt it. She's busy.
Oh, yeah. Well, what would you say was your favorite storyline that you've done as Victor Kiriakis?
Oh, there've been so many over 32 years. It's hard to pick one. I've had a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I mean, especially I remember the scenes where in Miami when Victor had the big mansion and Shane and Kimberly and all that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but that was way back in the early years.
It certainly was.
Yeah,
that's when shows still had money and we used to go on location.
Yeah. What do you enjoy the most about playing the character?
Well, look, Victor is a multi-dimensional character, which is always fun, and he gets to reward his friends and punish his enemies. He gets to do all the things that everybody wants to do in life but can't.
Yeah, well, I was wondering if it ever bothers you if the character goes we've seen him, especially this last year, do some stuff like branding Damos and really tearing up Teresa or tearing up Eric with just the insults. I mean, do you ever feel like Victor goes too far, or do you just enjoy doing it?
No, you can't go too far. As long as the circumstances are presented properly, you can't go too far.
Yeah, well, that's what makes him such a fascinating and long character in the show, and that staying power. People love Victor and Maggie together. And you and Suzanne Rogers have really good chemistry. I mean, what is it about this couple that the fans like?
Well, I think it's the chemistry. Chemistry accounts for a lot. Mm-hmm. And Susan and I, of course, have known each other for 40 years. A long time. The first time I was on the show back in 1970. So
yeah.
47 years ago.
And weren't you on Days Before as a different character for a while?
Well, that's originally in 1970 when I was on the show. I was Dr. Eric Richards. And I was the prison doctor when Bill Horton went to jail for aggravating his sister-in-law, knowing that she had a heart condition, and it killed her.
And then all these, and then what was it, 1984, I think, then we saw Victor, or 85, we saw Victor Kiriakis come on the scene. Yeah, 85. I remember that.
I always remember my first day because it was the 4th of July.
Oh, okay. That's a good, memorable.
July 85, yeah.
And Victor's been doing fireworks ever since.
That's it.
Yeah, you have such great dialogue. I mean, even when Victor's being a real meanie, so many funny lines that come up. Is this all the script, or do you ever get to improv some of those lines?
A few, not many. Mostly it's the writers.
Yeah.
They've come up with some great stuff for me. It goes back to the old Susie Parker thing. You give me the lines, I'll give you funny. Right.
Well, the comic timing is great, because I think that's a reason why people love Victor. Is it doesn't matter what he does, but it's so much fun to watch him, and with the lines and the cracking, the comic timing of it, it's great. So someone who's followed your career all of these years and really enjoy your work as an actor, what advice would you want to give someone who is interested in being an actor?
Well, it has to be something that you really want to do. We used to say years ago that it was, acting is an addiction, because people you see time after time, you see people who their career is not moving, and yet they can't just quit, can't just give it up, because they're addicted to it. And when it works, it's very rewarding. Fortunately, it doesn't work for everybody. And the thing about it is I can't tell you the number of actors I know who are extremely talented who have quit the business.
Right. Well, it sounds like you are getting a major reward now, and it's exciting for the fans to see, and exciting for all of us to see you with this nomination. So good luck and congratulations, and thank you so much for spending the time to do this interview with me.
Thank you, Lori. Where are you from?
New York City.
New York City. Are you a born and bred New Yorker?
No. I grew up in Texas. I lived in Texas until like 93 or 94, and then I moved to New York City, and I've been in New York City ever since.
If you're going to live in a city, New York is the only place to live.
Yeah.
I lived there for 20 years.
Right. I mean, with some of those early, was Search for Tomorrow here? Weren't you on that show?
Search for Tomorrow was in New York, and Love of Life was in New York.
It's sad because they had a lot of good soaps here, and now there's none of them. They're all out there in LA now, which is sad.
That's
because
right.
I really enjoy. I only came at the tail end of it, but when I first moved to New York, they were doing the Daytime Emmys here. They were doing them at the Marriott Marquis here, at the Marriott Hotel, and at Radio City Music Hall. And, they were doing and I remember, I would be here, I just moved, and I would see all the actors leaving the Emmys and walking down the streets of New York, and it was exciting. And, now.
Yeah. The first one I went to was at Radio City Music Hall, and I presented Oprah with her first Daytime Award.
Oh, wow. That was huge.
Yeah. Hi, Laurie. Okay. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, and congratulations. I got my fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
The Daytime Emmy ceremony will take place on April 30th at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium in Los Angeles. Coming up next in this Daytime Emmy nomination series will be Crystal Chappelle talking about her nominated digital series, Venice. And if you missed them, catch my previous interviews with Vincent Irizarry and Kate Manzi from Days of Our Lives, Stacey Hyjuk and Gina Tognoni from The Young, the Restless, and Chad Duell and Taquan Richmond from General Hospital. All these interviews can be found on the website OutTakesInterviews.com. Keep up with all future shows on my social media. I am on Twitter as Laurie's Outtakes, on Facebook as Outtakes Interviews, and I just recently started posting on Instagram as Outtakes Interviews as well. So see you there, and until next time.